Hello YouTube world. I'm gonna try my initial foray into number one, YouTube videos, and then number two, into a beginner's perspective into reloading, since I just got into reloading a few months ago. My first conundrum that I had was I didn't have any room. I don't have a garage, so I couldn't just throw this in the garage, so I ended up putting it in a spare bedroom. It's my number one helper right there. What I did is I have a little, I call it a little cubby hole, a little bitty space right here that had other things there, and I took them all out, and I built this little workbench. It's got these little brackets on there. Got those from Lowe's. You could probably get them at pretty much any hardware store, probably the big box stores. And it's a, I just took the like a pre-cut piece of, I think this is 1/2 inch plywood, like a 4 foot by 2 foot size, you know, and just use those dimensions. And it's about a little bit above my belly button for me, so it's like an odd number tall. It's like, you know, like 3 feet and 5 3/4 inches or some weird number like that. It only took me a day to do it with the help of the family. Got a shelf down there. It's nice and sturdy. I mean, this sucker is, I mean, it's sturdy. The only reason, you know, the press is sturdy too, but the overall, with these brackets here, I mean, this sucker is, it ain't gonna move. Another thing that I did was I put these tiles on here. These are just like those little peel and stick 12 inch by 12 inch tiles that you can get at Lowe's, or, you know, like 99 cents a piece, 50 cents a piece, however much. I like it. And just a couple of them I did have to glue some of the corners, because the corners wouldn't stick very well, but I glued them on there, and it's works nice. I don't, you know, I've already got a couple of dings in there that would not look good on the wood, but otherwise I like the table. It's fun to work on too. Onto the press. I'm using a Lee Loadmaster press. A lot of people don't like Lee products. You either love them or you hate them. I personally like them. But before we get into that, I'm just going to show you real quick how I've got them on there. I think these are like caster bolts. I think that's what they're called. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I got 2 of them in there, and then I drilled through the 2x4. I don't know what I was thinking. That was fun, especially when you don't have a drill bit that's long enough. But anyway, lesson learned. And then on the underside, right there, I have, for the third one, I put just a little spare piece of 2x4 right there to give a little bit of strength to the plywood there, because I didn't want it tearing up the plywood, you know, coming apart and stuff like that. So that's how that went. Okay, like I said, running the Lee Loadmaster. Right now it's set up for 40 caliber. This is, I actually bought the kit off of Midway USA, and it came with, let's see, what all did it come with? It came with the 40 cal resizing, depriming. Came with the powder through, bullet seating, and the universal crimp die. And then separately I bought, this is a universal depriming. You know, all it does is deprime, and it'll fit, you know, anything. Personally, like I said, like I mentioned before, I like it. It runs smooth. Oh yeah, I forgot the shelf link's not on there, so it's not going to index. But one thing that I did have problems with setting up was getting this thing right. Okay, the case feeder. I had a problem setting up the case feeder right here. For whatever reason, I just could not get it to work. But I finally watched a couple videos on how to do it, and I finally got the kinks worked out. It works. I actually saw another video where this guy was pushing some, I don't know, some weird crap that's not even made by Lee. It's made by a different company, but it's like some kind of little plastic thing that sits in between these tubes. It's like $10 for this little thing. And what it's supposed to do is basically the same thing with this little bitty rubber band that came with the stuff. And it basically all it does is sit there and hold the tubes, because what happens is when you get a bunch of cases in here, there they go. You know, these start like flaring out and kind of, because you know, when it goes up and it starts all shaking and these start want to flail around and stuff like that. But instead of spending $10 on a fancy little piece of plastic, I just put this little rubber band right back on it, and it holds it just fine. Loaded 1,000 rounds with it so far, and it's no problems, right? Whatever works. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, shell plates. Watched another video where this guy was talking about, like, on your equipment, like on the shell plates, this is the bottom, you know, it's the top. You kind of take some fine grit sandpaper and kind of smooth like the rough parts, because actually it is kind of rough when you first get them, and you smooth that out and make it because of I think they use sand casting to do these, is how they make them, so there's little rough divots in there and stuff like that. And you smooth that out, hang on, you smooth out the bottom, and then in the hole there, I don't know what that hole is called other than a hole. And then another place is on these little high points here. Those are all contact points. Kind of smooth those out, and the same thing right here on this little post. Smooth all that out. And then when you put it on there, okay, now we got that fixed. Whenever you put it in there, hold on, I gotta take the indexer out in order to do this next demonstration. What it does, go ahead, is it makes it real smooth, because I don't know if you can see it, how much it moves around with very little friction. You know, it doesn't stop. Plus, I put just a touch of some gun oil on there too, some like hops number 9, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a lubrication. I'll put that on there later. Then let's see. Oh yeah, one of the other conundrums that I had is being new to reloading, is that I didn't know what kind of storage I was going to need. Because you can see right there, I got some boxes. Those are boxes from my work, and I had all kinds of different sizes. I didn't know what I was going to use, but I ended up using these. Just going to set these up here. Just old coffee cans right here. Easy to label. Anyway, like I said, you can stack them real easy, and they don't take up a whole lot of room, because I had some boxes that were, if I can get this thing to zoom, which is not going to zoom, but that box right there, it's an old mailbox. I use it as my garbage. I actually had boxes that were bigger than that, trying to, you know, store this, and it just wasn't taking up too much room, basically. You know, and I got them Sharpie 40 cal ready to load, 9mm, needs prep. You know, I'm not into 9mm, but hey, what the heck, why not take 200, however many that is, 200 cases from the range. You know, this is probably what, about maybe like 300, close to 300, or 250, and it's probably close to 250. The only reason why I say that is because down here in the corner I have a bucket of 40 cal that is 250. This is 250 rounds in here. So, and actually I could probably fit another 50 in there to make an even 300, 350 maybe. I like to count. I like to keep a count of how many rounds I have, how many I'm using, all that kind of stuff. And let's see, along with another storage thing that I kind of use, instead of throwing all these boxes away, which is what I've done in the past, these will easily hold 50 completed rounds. So I've got 50 completed rounds of, as you can see, hollow points, self-defense loads. These are all Hornady XTPs. So there's 50 rounds in each one of these boxes. If you want to easily count how many you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 50, that's how many you got. I wish I had kept all these, because the thousands of rounds that I've shot over the years, I wish I had about 50 of these things. But now I'm stuck trying to scrounge them up. Most ranges in my area don't like to accommodate reloaders, but anyway, I use these to count, you know, because a couple of times I made mistakes where, you know, I put like 48 in here and then 52 in there, and then I'm like, well, why isn't the count off? Well, it's because I'm counting wrong. I'm counting too fast. But not only can you use these for counting, you know, because sometimes I can't count to 50. I don't have enough fingers and toes to count to 50. But you know, you can easily check the primers. You can kind of go along and feel them, make sure all the primers are in there nice and good, and then you can easily see if there's a primer missing, which I've had that happen before, and that was not fun, getting powder everywhere in this thing. As a matter of fact, you can still kind of see there's some powder on there. One of these days the OCD is going to kick in, and I'm going to have to take this thing completely apart in order to get in there and clean this real good, because that I'm a procrastinator and I have OCD, so you know, whatever. Just, yeah. Eventually the OCD will kick in and I'll clean it out, but not today because I'm procrastinating. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. I got this little 3-drawer thing from Walmart. Got all my dies and extra stuff in there. Another shell plate. Shell plate from 300 Blackout, 223, same size. Got my extra, whatchamacallit, sandpaper. And then in here, I don't have a whole lot of primers, so this is all the primers that I got stacked. I know there's probably people that have hundreds of thousands of primers. Well, I'm not there yet. I just started, so give me a break. These are just extra casings where I run out of bullets. Head casings, but ran out of bullets, and I use them for various things. Got my scale right there. Got this little Frankfurt Arsenal hammer. The helper likes to use it.
Yes, I really do.
And that's a bullet puller in case you screw up, which you're bound to do, and I've done several times. Got my digital caliper here. It's a cool little $30, $40, I forget how much. This sucker was expensive. Got my handbook. Got another one on the way. Most people will tell you can never have too many reloading books. Bottom drawer, back to this. Got a bunch of tools. Probably 90% of it. It's really, realistically, probably turned into a junk drawer than really a full drawer. So that's about it. And that's empty. Got a towel so I can wipe my hands off. Oh, another thing while I'm here, get you some gloves, rubber gloves right here, because from what I understand, not that I've had personal experience, but from what I understand, your powders, right there's my 2 whole bottles of powder, but the powder's got nitro in them or something like that, and if you're on blood pressure meds, that can really have you not having a good day at all. But this is my reloading setup as I have it. I've got a range bucket, a little cheap bucket. It's my setup. Feel free to comment. I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm not a crybaby. I will listen to your criticisms as long as you're not being rude and mean about it. Oh, another thing I want to talk about, I completely forgot while I'm on the subject. A lot of people that don't like Lee products don't like them because you have to quote unquote tinker with them. There's a lot of tinkering. I can't tinker. I don't know how to tinker. I'm too lazy to tinker. I'm not a tinkerer. I don't tinker with stuff. It's just, I'm just not. You know, I don't tinker. But yeah, there is some tinkering that has to be done when you first get it. Once you get everything dialed in, it runs. I mean, when I put it up, you know, I run a case or two through there and make sure that it's still dialed in. When it's dialed in, it's dialed in. I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure you gotta tinker with the blue ones and the green ones too to get them all dialed in. But to me, that's not worth the extra money, because it only took me like 2 hours, if that, to get all this set up. And then another complaint that people have is this chain is dinky, which the chain didn't have any problems with it, except for the fact that when I was making a different version of this video, I broke the stinking thing, which really made me mad, because I didn't mean to break it. But it's okay, I'll just go get me some more chain and fix it back up. Other than that, that's about it. Personally, like I said, I like this setup. I like it. It runs good, runs smooth. I like it. You know, there's some videos of people are taking all kinds of motor oil and lubing all this up, and I think I put oil on there. No, I don't think so. Because I don't have any lube, no oil, no nothing on here, and it runs just fine. Look, it's smooth as baby's bottom. You know, it works just fine. But that's about it. That's my thoughts on reloading and stuff like that. Well, if you like my video, please like, comment. If you want to share it, share it. I'm one of those types of people. I'm open to comments, so if you have any constructive criticism, please do share. If you just want to be mean and hateful, then whatever, I don't care. Peace out.